Think about the last time someone praised you. There was a little lift, wasn't there? A small warmth spreading through the chest. Now think about the last time you watched a sunset, or laughed so hard you forgot what day it was, or got so deep into a piece of work that hours passed like minutes. Those two feelings are not the same thing. One of them leaves you wanting more. The other leaves you full. Anthony de Mello spent the last months of his life trying to tell us why we always chase the first and starve ourselves of the second. This is a read-aloud summary of The Way to Love by Anthony de Mello, a small, quiet book that turns out to be one of the most unsettling things you can read when you're ready for it. If you want one of these every week, subscribing takes one tap. Here is the problem de Mello puts on the table. You are probably not happy, not in any lasting way. And the reason is not the job, not the relationship, not the money you don't have. The reason is something much harder to fix. You were trained, from the time you were very small, to believe that happiness lives outside of you, in another person's approval, in success, in being loved in a specific way by a specific someone. That training went deep. It became the operating system you run on. And now, though you keep upgrading the apps, new goals, new people, new experiences, the operating system keeps generating the same output: anxiety, craving, brief relief, then craving again. De Mello calls these operating instructions your programming. He is not being metaphorical. He means it literally. Someone fed beliefs into you before you were old enough to question them, and now those beliefs run automatically, producing emotions you did not choose and reactions you cannot explain. His book is a collection of 34 short meditations, each rooted in a line from the Gospels, each circling the same central wound from a different angle. Together, they build toward a single proposition. The only way out is not willpower, not spiritual discipline, not more effort. It is seeing clearly. Seeing what you are actually doing. Seeing what you are actually clinging to. Seeing the attachment for exactly what it is. And then, not forcing anything, not renouncing anything, just watching the attachment lose its grip. Let's start where de Mello starts. You are running on a program that doesn't work. Imagine your mind as a kind of internal demand machine. It has a list, built up over decades, of how things must be for you to feel okay. People must treat you a certain way. You must achieve certain things. You must be seen in a certain light. When the list is satisfied, the machine gives you a moment of peace. When it isn't, the machine punishes you with anxiety, frustration, resentment, or a dull background sadness you can never quite name. De Mello's word for any item on that list is an attachment, not a preference, not a desire. An attachment, something you have convinced yourself you cannot be happy without. And he wants you to notice something about attachments that almost everyone misses. They do not produce happiness even when they are satisfied. They produce a flash of excitement, a brief relief, and then the bar moves, or the fear of losing what you have sets in, or boredom arrives, and you are back at the beginning, hungry again. He offers a test. Write down your attachments one at a time, the relationships, the outcomes, the images of yourself you are protecting, and say to each one, "Deep down in my heart, I know that even after I have got you, I will not get happiness." If you can say that honestly, you will feel something shift. Not because you have given anything up, but because you have seen the truth about it. And seeing is the only thing that actually loosens a grip. This is the first movement of the book. The system is broken. You can feel it. The question is whether you are willing to look at it directly. The four walls of the prison. In one of the book's sharpest chapters, Mello describes the mind that has gone to sleep. Not a resting mind, a fat mind, covered in layers that prevent it from touching anything real. He names 4 layers specifically. The first layer is your beliefs, not just religious beliefs. Every belief. The belief that this person is unreliable. The belief that you work best under pressure. The belief that people like you don't get that kind of life. Each belief is a conclusion, and every conclusion is a door that closes. Reality is moving and changing constantly, but the belief freezes it. You stop seeing the person in front of you and start seeing your verdict about them instead. The second layer is your ideas, the labels you slap onto things before you have finished looking. He is lazy. She is difficult. This situation is hopeless. The label feels like perception. It is actually the replacement for perception. You have processed the experience away before it could land. The third layer is habit. There are things you have looked at so many times that you have stopped seeing them entirely. A fisherman watching the ocean every day no longer sees the majesty of it. He sees something he has already filed under ocean. Your closest relationships, the people you share a home with, the work you do with your hands. Most of it has been filed. The aliveness of it has been processed into routine. The fourth layer is attachment and fear, the thickest of them all. The moment you become attached to something or terrified of losing it, you stop being able to see it clearly. Everything gets filtered through the question, is this a threat to my attachment or a protection of it? The politician who craves power eventually can only perceive people in terms of what they offer his ambition. His wife is invisible. The sunset is invisible. His own children are invisible. He has become, in the most literal sense, blind. Mello is not blaming anyone for this. He is pointing at something mechanical, the way you would point at a machine that jams. These layers were put on you. Your culture, your parents, your schooling. They handed you the filters without asking. The work is not to punish yourself for wearing them. The work is to see that you are wearing them at all. What love actually is. Halfway through the book, Mello turns to love, and what he says about it will probably stop you. Love, he writes, is not a feeling. It is not affection. It is not the warmth you feel when someone approves of you, or the glow you experience when you are desired. Those things are real, but they are not love. They are what happens when your attachment is satisfied. And satisfaction of an attachment, however pleasant, is the opposite of freedom. Real love, for Mello, has 4 qualities. First, it is indiscriminate. A rose does not offer its fragrance only to good people and withhold it from bad ones. A lamp does not shine on the virtuous and go dark for the cruel. They simply radiate what they are. Love, when it is genuine, works the same way. It does not choose its objects based on whether they are giving you what you need. Second, love is gratuitous. It gives without calculating what it will receive. The moment you are kind in order to receive kindness back, or loving in order to be loved in return, what you are practicing is not love, but a transaction, a human one, but not love. Third, love is unself-conscious. It does not know it is loving. The way a tree offering shade has no awareness of its own generosity. True action from love is so natural that it does not produce a sense of virtue. You did not consciously choose to be kind. It simply arose, the way breathing arises. Mello warns that any virtue you are consciously proud of is probably not virtue at all, but ego wearing virtue's clothes. Fourth, love is free. The moment you try to control or coerce the person you love, through guilt, through emotional withdrawal, through the subtle manipulation of making them feel responsible for your happiness, love dies. What remains is need dressed up as love, and you know the difference, even when you refuse to admit it. Here is what this means practically. The closer you look at most of what you call love, the more you find attachment. You do not love the person. You love how the person makes you feel. You love the security they provide. You love being special to them. This is not a moral failure. It is simply where almost all of us begin. But it is important to see it clearly, because clinging and love cannot coexist. The moment you stop needing someone in a grasping way, the moment you can genuinely say to them, "I leave you free to be entirely yourself," something changes. The cage opens. Not just for them. For you. The drug no one warned you about. There is a chapter in the book so precise it reads like a diagnosis. Mello describes what happened to you when you were a child. You were not given the solid, sustaining food of life, work done for its own sake, beauty for its own sake, the simple pleasure of being alive in a body on a planet. Instead, society gave you a taste for drugs. The drug called approval. The drug called appreciation. The drug called success, prestige, power. And you got addicted, not through weakness, through entirely human development. The drug felt good. It felt like love, like safety. But the tolerance built. You needed more. And now, though you may have everything your earlier self would have envied, the craving does not stop. The fear of losing it does not stop. Here is the part that disturbs people. Mello says the cure is not effort. It is not discipline. It is not forcing yourself to stop caring what people think, or through willpower deciding that you no longer need approval. That approach does not work. The drug simply goes underground. You repress the craving instead of releasing it, and repression is not freedom. What works is the same thing that works everywhere in this book. Seeing the suffering the drug causes. Seeing the precise mechanism by which your peace of mind gets handed over to whoever is in the position to approve or disapprove of you today. Seeing the moments when you are so attuned to the reactions of others that you cannot hear your own thoughts. When you see this with real clarity, not as a concept, but as a lived recognition, the grip loosens. Not because you forced it, because truth dissolves illusion the way light dissolves darkness. It does not push the dark out. The dark simply cannot stay. Pain, suffering, and the unexpected gift. Near the end of the book, Mello says something that lands differently depending on where you are in your life. He says that painful events contain seeds. Happy events make life pleasant. Painful events make you grow. Not because pain is good, but because pain is a signal. It tells you exactly where your attachment is. It is a floodlight pointed at the part of your programming that is costing you the most. Think of a situation causing you suffering right now. The suffering, the quality of it, the specific ache, is not random. It is shaped by exactly what you believe you cannot live without. Your anxiety tracks the thing you are most afraid to lose. Your resentment maps the expectation not being met. Your grief reveals the depth of what you were clinging to. Mello is not saying any of this to be harsh. He is saying that every painful event is offering you something most pleasant. Events cannot. A clear view of your own interior. An invitation to examine what you have been carrying. A chance, if you are willing to look, to stop carrying it. The bus passengers that Mello describes in the very first chapter of the book. They are still in the bus, shades pulled down, bickering over seats of honor, squabbling about who is the most important, who is most respected, who has won the argument. The beautiful country outside the windows goes unnoticed. The lakes and mountains and rivers exist, but no one sees them. The journey ends, the bus stops, and they never once looked out. The question this book leaves you with is a simple one, but it does not let go. Which of your own shades are still pulled down? And are you willing to reach up and open them? If something in this one stayed with you, drop it in the comments, and a like helps more than you know.